Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. We're going to focus here on the Free Comic Book Day announcement for 2023, which includes an Avatar comic. But first, I do just want to mention here right at the start, tomorrow I will have an early review for Avatar Chibi Volume 1 Aang's Unfreezing Day. I got my review copy request in, it got approved, and I have read the book, but I'll wait to do the review until tomorrow. So if you are at all interested in that book, I'll have an early review tomorrow. It's a weird book where I don't think there's a lot really to spoil. I'll try not to go wildly into detail on what happens in every single page, but I'll pretty much be in general talking about the book. So look out for that tomorrow. But straight away, Free Comic Book Day 2023. They decided to do the announcements a month earlier than usual. They did the gold announcements a day or two ago, and the silver announcements came today. Personally, not a lot that particularly stands out from the other comics here for me. There's an Animal Crossing one right at the end, as you can see here, which is sort of interesting. They've got, Spider-Man, stuff like that, TMNT. But it is the Dark Horse Star Wars and Avatar comic that we are focusing on. So if we just go straight to the cover here, you can see Star Wars gets the cover, meaning Avatar just gets a logo. So immediately there's not a lot to speculate on because we don't even have an image or anything like that. But like they did here, it's also featuring Legend of Korra, also featuring Avatar The Last Airbender. So I do wonder will they change the black box at all, but ultimately I guess this is going to be roughly what the cover does end up looking like. So immediately the question here is, what is the Avatar story going to be? Because we don't know yet. Dark Horse have not yet acknowledged or talked about this yet. Again, it was just announced 2 hours ago, but Dark Horse haven't put a post yet about the silver comic. And even if they did, I'm not sure if they necessarily go into any detail explaining what's going on with the Avatar comic. I just have that feeling that when they do post about it, we're going to hear very little about the Avatar comic. So what's it going to be? There are basically, I think, three options. One is that it's just an all-new Avatar story that we've never heard about before. The second option is that it is just a preview for the next upcoming Avatar comic, which by the time we get to May next year would be Azula in the Spirit Temple. That seems exciting now because we don't have a full preview for Azula in the Spirit Temple. But when we get to May and we're pretty close to the release, knowing we will actually just in general get preview pages for the book, it's a bit boring that the comic would be devoted just to those preview pages. I'd be a bit surprised if they do that, and that would feel like something has gone wrong, so we have to do that type situation. Basically, like what happened with this comic, where the cover has Aang on the front, but then when you look inside, the Avatar section of the story is just a preview for the Chibi comic, which I will be reviewing tomorrow. Which was obviously not the plan, because if you look on this Dark Horse blog post that they put up in March last year, just 2 months before Free Comic Book Day, they went into detail and explained that the Avatar short story will be written by Amy Chu and illustrated by Kicking Shoes, while the Legend of Korra short story will be written and illustrated by Meredith McLaren. That is correct for the Korra story. Meredith McLaren does Beach Wars, but Amy Chu is not part of the creative team on the Chibi comic, meaning that there is this missing Avatar story by Amy Chu and Kicking Shoes that we have not seen anywhere yet. So it didn't actually come out in the Free Comic Book Day this year. Is this what the 2023 book is going to be? Could it just be the delayed comic from this year, or whatever happened to it, or will it be something completely different to that? I really would like to know what the situation is, because I'm guessing at the time that they put out this image, the Free Comic Book stuff was already well printed and stuff like that. So something went very wrong with the Free Comic Book Day last year, and I don't really know what happened. Now, I don't know. Maybe they were planning this one well in advance, and it's just a mistake that they actually have the description for this year's comic now. who knows, something crazy like that could have actually happened. But yeah, what this tells you ultimately is that we are probably going to be waiting quite a bit before we learn anything, I'd say, significant about what these books actually are, in that what we were basically waiting until the release day, or someone who got the book early, I think, showed us that, like, what Beach Wars actually was and what was actually in the book. So hopefully they do a little bit of a better of a marketing kind of push on this and actually say what the book is. But I don't have too much confidence because for some reason, the Dark Horse approach with short stories and short story collections like Patterns in Time is to just not say anything specific. Like, they've put out no official information that actually just directly says what the stories that are in Patterns in Time are. That information is out there because effectively, like, I put out a review that actually went into a little bit of detail on what the stories actually are. Otherwise, even if you went searching, all you would find, not looking at reviews, is just that the preview pages suggest the reprinting of the free comics, but nothing apart from who the creatives are, nothing about the details of what the stories actually are. So I hope they improve on that side of things, because I think they really do need to, definitely. So with that out of the way, that's really all we can say about the Free Comic Book Days stuff, is just that I'd like to see whatever this Aang story is. Does this cover say anything about maybe what this potential story is? I don't actually know, because obviously this cover says precisely nothing, and I'd almost hesitate to say that, like, if we just learn a creative team, like, unless it is literally like Amy Chu and Kicking Shoes, we probably have nothing to really say about knowing who the creatives are on the book either. So that's that. Then we get into update 38 for the Avatar Legends role-playing game. So they said they would put out more regular updates to coincide with when the different regions start actually shipping, so people from those regions have information to go on. And like they said, it would start shipping next week. It has in fact done that. Australia and New Zealand shipping has started. Fulfillment partner in Australia has begun packaging and shipping packages. You'll receive tracking information via Ozpost via email. The one on your backer kit account. Tracking information, once you receive your tracking information, your package is ready to ship and will be sent out within a few days. From there, it's a short wait. Packages should arrive within 2 weeks after you receive your shipping notification from Australia Post. So for Australia and New Zealand, they are saying it'll be like 2 weeks from when you get that notification, which seems like pretty decent ultimately. Obviously, I think that is going to be different depending on regions and stuff like that. If it's a more kind of smaller region, it might be smaller. I'm a little worried maybe for the kind of Europe, UK one and how that works, just because I feel there might be some confusion there, and I don't think we know the full details in that. Like, I think they're shipping from the UK, but they've said there's no customs or anything like that. So we'll see how that one goes. Otherwise, it seems like, okay, things are going pretty good. They have a form in place. If you're missing, when you get your stuff, if something's missing, if something's damaged, if the order seems to be lost, check that. So they're going all in here with the kind of customer service type stuff. So that is pretty good. So the information is all here, and it's actually beginning to ship. Just to go through the update again, like what they said, this was already happening this week. It could be the next couple of weeks for US, Canada, should be before the end of the month for EU/UK, and it should still be that for Latin America, but it might be start of December. So theoretically, you know, it's probably like second last week of November, probably for US, Canada, last week for EU, UK. We'll see how it all goes, but we're getting close to actually getting the stuff, and we'll see how it looks in hand, of course. But yeah, I think that is basically everything to talk about here. Free Comic Book Day for 2023. We are getting an Avatar comic. What are your thoughts on that? And I think that's really all there is to kind of talk about here in the update. So let me know what your thoughts are on Free Comic Book Day 2023. Other than that, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.